2, 1. We are live on Facebook. Hello, tribe. We are so sorry we had technical difficulties, but we are here ready to talk about gut.
Good. You're the first one, Megan.
Yeah. All right. So we're talking all about gut health tonight and why it is so important. I don't know if you have heard that the gut, your gut, is like your second brain. So the health of your gut is crazy important to your overall health and well-being. So the health of your digestive system can affect almost every system in your body, your hormone regulation, of course, your digestion, but the way that your body processes vitamins and produces vitamins in your body, your immune response, which is really important. Obviously, how you eliminate toxins in your system, and even your mental health. So there have been studies that show that there's an incredible connection between the gut health and your mood. So I don't know if you have ever had a time where your digestive system is a little off or a little imbalanced, and that just makes you cranky and obviously not feel good. But it's also very likely to cause autoimmune diseases or autoimmune disorders. And your hormones can get all out of whack. So focusing on your gut health is really important to all the other systems of your body.
That's Mindy's up.
Are we ready for the myths relating to the gut? Okay, so we've all heard the things, that they say, and oftentimes these things become factual information in our mind, even though they really aren't based on facts. So these are myths and they are not true. So one of them is like common equals normal. Just because something is common in today's society doesn't mean it's normal or the way that God intended it. So like we were discussing, we're going to be discussing a lot of things that are very up close and personal, y'all, so y'all just get ready. So going number 2, how often do people go number 2? You can put it in the comments if you want. But I was just talking about when I was younger, I only went number 2 like every 3 to 4 days. I thought that was normal. That was my common. That was my normal. No, you really should be going 1 to 2 times a day, or as Nikki said, every time you eat. Now, I know people like this. This is not me, but I do now go once a day, y'all. So yay for me. What you eat while you're pregnant and nursing doesn't affect your baby's gut health. It really does matter. This is true. So you do need to be aware of what you are eating. Allergies are just a normal part of life. No, God did not design for us to have allergies, but we have them all the time. So there's a big gut allergy connection here. So research it further. Maybe you'll hear a little bit more. If you haven't had any health issues so far, then you're nothing to worry about, right? That's a myth that a lot of people probably would like to believe in because, nothing's wrong with me. Well, me as an athletic trainer, I say this all the time. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So sometimes if you can just get ahead of things, that works out really well too. I also have that philosophy with my skincare. The next myth, all things with acid makes reflux worse. That is truly a myth. I have been researching things about my own acid indigestion. Alkaline's been my friend too. Actually, things that are considered acid, like orange juice, are actually alkaline in the body. So yeah, try some apple cider vinegar or lemon vitality in your water and see what happens. So those are just a few myths that they're busted. So take it away, Megan. 9 simple steps to support our gut.
All right. So 9 simple steps.
I want to hear how many times a day y'all go.
I mean, maybe once.
So the whole reason I got interested in gut health at all was a few years after starting Young Living, going to a class like this at night, and the lady was like, "You're supposed to poop every time you eat." And I was like, maybe I do need those enzymes.
This is definitely an area that I really need to work on for sure.
For sure, once a day, like clockwork at the same time every day.
Like right after your morning coffee?
Yeah, like in the morning when I'm getting like probably a good 45 minutes after I wake up.
Nope, first thing. I wake up, boom.
First thing.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter what time I wake up. I wake up, I go.
Wow.
I don't think that I have, like gut issues or digestive problems because my husband has major digestive and gut issues. So I'm like, oh, I don't have any of those issues. I'm fine. But, looking at all of the other things that your gut health affects, I probably do have some gut issues. Like we're going to talk about some ways to support your gut. And one of the main things is cutting out processed sugar. And that's like my number one,
Hard.
the hardest thing for me. And I know that the more sugar you eat, the more that it messes with the balance of.
I already told you why that was.
I know. And
you the gut cleanse. We'll get there though. Sorry,
yes.
I interrupted you.
Yeah, that will come. I know. I keep telling myself I need to do this cleanse, and I don't know why I have a mental block. Like, I guess I'm kind of scared. But I will. Okay. So one of the best ways to support your gut is to drink lots of water. We know that is super important for lots of reasons, but drinking lots of water between your meals will help flush the toxins out. And you're really supposed to drink half of your body weight in water. That's a lot of water. And I definitely don't get as much as I need to, but adding the Vitality Drops really helped me drink more water. So yay, Vitality Drops. Take enzymes. You're definitely going to want to take enzymes after we get through this class. And I promise I'm going to start. I have my box and I'm going to put it out and I'm going to start taking them. Cut out processed sugars. Reduce stress. We know that there's lots of stress going on, but if you can just take a little bit of time each day to do something for yourself or something that is calming and stress reducing for you, whether it's a bath or a little bit of alone time or reading, it's just something to help, chillax for a little bit. And then eating fermented foods like drinking kombucha or sauerkraut, which I had a little bit of that tonight at dinner. That makes happy bacteria and makes your gut happy. And then a big one that I think this is one thing that is one of the best products that Young Living has is our Life9, our probiotic, and everybody needs to be taking a probiotic. Ours is amazing. And we'll talk a little bit about why our probiotic is so awesome compared to just over-the-counter ones. And then lots of greens. Eating lots of greens will help keep your gut happy. And then this is an interesting one, drinking bone broth. So whether you make your own or you buy it, just consuming bone broth that has the collagen in it, and everybody needs to be taking a probiotic. Ours is amazing. And we'll talk a little bit about an echo.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm trying to answer someone's question on it.
Oh.
On it, it starts us talking. But
Yes.
to go.
So the bone broth has collagen in it and gelatin, which is incredibly healing to your gut. And it also has tons of calcium in it. So throw out the milk. That is old school. Drink bone broth. And then
Use it in place of like chicken stock and stuff. So I just buy bone broth now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not done that yet, but I have read all about it, like healing up leaky gut. And now that I've done my cleanse, that should probably be my next step.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, cleanse regularly. So maybe we should start a cleanse right after this class and do it all together. So a lot of times, as the years go on, things start to build up in your system and there's a lot of junk that needs to come out. So do your body a favor and take care of yourself and do a cleanse and not just wait until your colonoscopy or something. All right, Mindy.
Digestive imbalance and enzyme deficiency. Raise your hand if enzymes and their benefit to your digestive system have been a bit of a mystery.
Yes, this is all kind of
I know this is one of
not
those things,
new
like,
information, but
Yeah.
it's not as
it's not something that we think about a lot.
I
Like,
learned
what's
in the
going
last
on in
year.
there?
It definitely was only in the last year that I started learning.
Well, I mean, enzymes are everywhere, but okay, so did you know that your body's ability to produce its own enzymes decreases with age? So
Doesn't everything?
I know I was about to say like everything else.
So we blame it on getting older.
Yeah.
So, indigestion and all that stuff could be due to an enzyme deficiency. Okay, so things that might be happening to you that will let you know that you have poor gut health: abdominal pain, bloating after meals, reflux, gas, headaches, skin conditions, fatigue, joint pain, and immune system weakness. And I think you touched on it when we first started, that the gut is almost like the ruler of the
Yeah.
body. And so
Yeah.
all of that makes so much sense when you think of it that way. So when the body is stressed by a shortage of digestive enzymes, two things can happen, and both are no bueno. Our body continues to work overtime to create the needed enzymes required to digest our food. So this extra stress isn't good for our immune system. And then the second one, because our body finally becomes so overworked, it can't make enough enzymes to properly digest our food. And so that's where we're going to start talking about putting enzymes back into your body when you're deficient in them and can't make them anymore.
Well, I think a lot of us are deficient just because, based on our diet and the way that our food is grown these days.
And processed.
And processed foods. I think that's one reason why it's so important to get a lot of those leafy greens and making sure, you get a lot of your vegetables and whatnot. And if you can grow them in your backyard, that's even better. So what exactly are enzymes, and why are they so important? So enzymes are the protein molecules that are manufactured by all plant and animal cells. So all cells require enzymes to survive and function. So enzymes affect these body systems, your digestion. Enzymes break down the food so that the body can digest it. Your metabolism, enzymes help properly metabolize the food so that the body can use the nutrients it needs from the food. And if our food, supply is not like what it used to be and it's so processed, we're not getting the enzymes that our body needs. Our respiration system, enzymes assist in getting oxygen where it's needed. Nutrient absorption and transportation. The enzymes help the nutrients get to where they are needed in the body. The detoxification. Enzymes keep toxic sludge from building up in the body. So that's really a really important reason to make sure that we are supplementing our diets with enzymes. Muscle movement. Enzymes assist in helping the brain to communicate with the muscles. Hormone production. They assist in helping the body produce hormones that in turn keep the body functioning the way that it's supposed to. Cell repair. Sorry about that. Cell repair. Enzymes assist in repairing cells, which can lead to youthful skin. Who doesn't want that? And cell division. This one's really important. You know that all of our cells divide. And we want to make sure that when our cells divide, they're healthy and clean cells. So enzymes really help make sure that they are dividing at a normal, healthy rate. So enzymes are super important. I don't know about you, but those all sound like really good things and things that I want going well in my body. So I'm definitely going to start taking that box of enzymes that I have sitting on my counter. where do enzymes come from, Erin? This sounds really like more up your knowledge house.
Well, and like enzymes are something that, you know, are talked about in like every biological function that happens in the body. And if you'll notice, like every time you talked about like what an enzyme does, you said the enzyme assists, the enzyme helps. So it's like it isn't the thing that does the job, but it's like the worker bees that come and like make it happen. Do you know, like the foreman is like, you do this, and then the enzymes come on and they're like, okay, and then they break down the food so that the body can absorb the, you know, the vitamins and the minerals that, and like you were saying, if your food doesn't have the vitamins and minerals in it, like even if you had enough enzymes, what is it going to break down? And so if your body can't absorb it, then it just kind of gets stuck and sludgy and, you know, all in your system. So it's super important that you're eating, you know, really good food. And so that's one of the things we're talking about, are digestive and food enzymes. And you can get them by eating all raw food contains enzymes. So sprouted food, so things like sprouted beans or sprouted wheat, and you can read the labels on things and it'll talk about like sprouted wheat bread. Or I even follow this one lady on Instagram, and when she makes her beans, if she makes like homemade bean soup or something, she always makes a point to sprout them the night before. So she lets them like soak in some water and they sprout before she cooks them. So because there's so many benefits to sprouted foods. Papaya, pineapple, mango, kiwi, grapes, fruits and vegetables, avocados they have a ton of good healthy fats and good enzymes in them. Raw honey, y'all, raw honey is amazing on so many levels, but it has so many really good enzymes, because those bees come in and they take the pollen and then they turn it and they break it all down. They basically like eat it and then spit it back out, and then that's the honey. So they're already doing a lot of the breaking down for you. So it's not just like eating sugar, it's already like broken down into a form that your body can use, and it's so healthy for you. So if you can find, I know even at our grocery store at Kroger, you can find raw local honey. And it'll tell you, like ours comes from Pearland, which is literally 30 minutes from our house. And so you want to find a honey that is grown locally to you, because that's going to help you with your allergies. So it's helping, you know, with your enzymes, and then it's helping you with your allergies. It's just really, really good stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully you have like a farmer's market that you can hit up, because not only are you supporting local farmers, but getting a honey that is local or closer, you know, to you. Then
absolutely. And then speaking of bees, bee pollen is really good for you. And I know you're going to talk about, are you talking about multigreens? Are we talking about those today? There's bee pollen in there. It's so good for you, and it's packed full of enzymes. Extra virgin olive oil and coconut oil. So even, you know, when we're talking about making your little capsules or whatever, putting a really good quality coconut oil in it, or really good olive oil, or, you know, what you're cooking with, you want to cook with something really good. So you make sure that you're putting, you know, good food in your body. And if you're cooking like all these fruits and vegetables that are full of enzyme, you want to make sure that you're cooking them in something, you know, that's good for you too. And then you're just kind of upping all the enzymes. And then raw meat and raw dairy. So I was actually just talking to a friend today. We have a small dairy farm that's not far from our house, and it's precious, but they have they're grass-fed cows, and they call them over by name, and they walk into the barn and they milk them, but they sell like raw milk right out of they have like a shed with a refrigerator in it, and you can just go build it. But it's so good for you because it's full and packed with those enzymes. It's not heat processed and pasteurized, so it doesn't kill all that stuff. So anyway, just continuing.
Can I interrupt really fast? Because I saw something, the papaya, pineapple, mango, kiwi. I don't know about grapes, but as a science teacher, I did this when we were talking about enzymes in biology class. That you cannot put fresh pineapple in your Jell-O because
it'll break it down.
The enzymes will break down the gelatin. Now you can with canned pineapple, because I guess the process of that kills those enzymes. But I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think we tried it with mango or papaya. I think we did kiwi. Kiwi wasn't as, I mean, like the fresh pineapple, just like it would not gel at all. But
so those enzymes are like breaking down all the you know, all of the molecules that were created in the Jello. That's a really good, if we ever get to do live classes again, that's a really good thing for demonstrating the enzymes.
Yeah.
But they're just amazing for you. And they, you know, they give the big assist, like they're assisting your body in doing everything. They make digestion. Your body is going through all the process. You have enzymes in your mouth, you have enzymes in your throat, and then it goes into your stomach and you have enzymes there. And so your food is being broken down in every single part of your digestive system, and a different vitamin and mineral are being absorbed in different parts of your digestive system. And then because it's broken down into the workable molecules, then your cells are able to use it. Your cell cannot use a pineapple, but it can use the vitamins and minerals that come from the pineapple. So your body has to work really hard to break it down into the small, you know, chunks that your cells need. And so the more enzymes you have and the more consistent you have enzymes in your system, the better your body is going to break down all the food and minerals and absorb it. And if you have all the vitamins and minerals you need, then your immune system is working, and your mental health is good, and your digestive system is working. Like everything is working properly if you get to absorb all that stuff. So your body makes enzymes, and just like she said before, it does make them. And when you're little, if you're a little kid and you're a healthy kid, then everything is working great, and you probably don't need as many. You don't need to take all of these supplements and stuff. But as you get older, just like a car, the older your car gets, things, you know, you have to change the tires and you have to get the oil changed and things start breaking down. Your body is the exact same way. And so you have to start supplementing. And
so basically, if your driver's license says 19 something,
yes,
you are now.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's horrible.
I know that we don't get as much minerals from our produce as we used to because of the soil.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's the same for enzymes, if we're not getting as much good stuff from our food as we used to, and that's why we have to supplement so much too.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it would make complete and total sense. So, and guess what, friends? Young Living has some amazing enzymes. And I know that the four of us have experienced some form or fashion of the Young Living enzymes. And so we're not just here like trying to sell you a product. We're just trying to tell you like we've used things and then they have really made a big difference. So I think, Mindy, you're going to talk about essential zymes, which is a big one.
Yes, I love my Essential Zymes. I think Essential Zymes 4 is out of stock right now, unfortunately. Fortunately, I do have my spare box in the drawer because I'm still on the one I'm on now. But when Essential Zymes Essential Zymes 4 went out of stock like a couple of months ago, I was out, and so I got just the Essential Zymes. So one of the questions, like, so why do they have both? What's the difference between Essential Zymes and Essential Zymes 4? Well, the first and most biggest difference, I guess, is Essential Zymes is just one caplet. But if you look really, really close, it's like a dual layer, and you can see kind of like a darker layer and a lighter layer. Whereas Essential Zymes 4 is in a blister pack, and it's like two separate capsules, and like one is light and one is kind of yellow. So Essential Zymes is like your everyday basic enzyme that helps cleanse the digestive tract so your body can absorb the vitamins and minerals. It's made to take daily for those who just want to give their body kind of like, a constant, little push along with the enzymes. Anyway, because they're in a capsule or caplet that's kind of pressed, it's like a delayed release too. And so they also include essential oils to help improve overall enzyme activity and reduce pancreatic stress and support healthy pancreatic function. So if you have like concerns with your pancreas, this might be something that's really up your alley, huh? So Essential Zymes 4 is like for those like big heavy meals that you're going to get. Also, when you look at the directions, it says to take it with your two biggest meals of the day. So I normally don't take it with breakfast because my breakfast is usually really small. So like if I have kind of a light lunch, I'll take just my Essential Zymes. But if I'm having like, like steak or pizza, or especially anything with bread and lots of starch, I'm taking my Essential Zymes 4. But Essentialzymes 4 is multi-spectrum enzyme complex, and it helps with the fats and the proteins and the fiber and the carbohydrates that are commonly found in our, American diet. It's also a time-release technology that helps release the animal-based and plant-based enzymes at separate times within the digestive tracts, allowing for optimal nutrient absorption.
Which is so good, because that's kind of like, I was reading that you're not supposed to take all of your vitamins and supplements at one time because your body can't absorb them. You're basically overloading it. So that makes sense that it would want to, do time release of the different, enzymes to help spread out the digestive and the vitamins and minerals.
So Allerzyme is a very interesting supplement. It is a slow acting vegetarian enzyme complex. And so if you are a vegetarian, then this would be a good one for you. But it contains bromelain, if I'm saying that correctly, bromelain.
And that is the enzyme in pineapple that breaks down the Jell-O.
Gotcha. It is one that a lot of Young Living members use for seasonal allergies. So I'm trying to get my middle son, Lucas, to learn how to swallow pills so that he can take.
Tell him that Lila is 5 and she is swallowing Allerzyme with me for her allergies.
Did you hear that, Lucas? Lila is 5 and can swallow an Allerzyme pill.
Allerzyme is like the tiniest little nothing.
Yeah, it's super little.
And I had it, and I've been suffering with like the tree pollen right now.
It's bad in North Texas right now.
Pediatrician said she had some polyps in her nose from the allergies, and I'm like, well, I have like 3 bottles of Allerzyme. There's no reason why we shouldn't take this. And I feel the bromelain like opening up my sinuses, like it's opening the swelling and everything is able to move. And so I think that is why it is helping people with seasonal allergies, because it's definitely.
Is it back in stock?
I don't know.
Because you remember they took it away, and then everybody said, "Wait a minute," and then they brought it back. But then it was out of stock, so I wasn't sure.
I think it is, and I had like 3 bottles from promos and stuff, so I'm like, why not use it then? And Lila thought it was cool that she could swallow it too. I told her she was a big girl, and it worked. So
see,
I also watched a video that said Allerzyme is also good for people with food allergies. So I guess pretty much any kind of allergy, it kind of covers all of that.
Yeah, so like that, I think, that's like the obvious one that it helps with, but it's amazing that it helps with your seasonal allergies too, like the tree pollens and whatnot. So I'm gonna look to see if it's in stock,
because I have had friends before I was with Young Living that were taking a bromelain supplement that was super expensive for like fighting off sinus infections, because it like greatly reduces.
Oh, that's so good to know.
Of your sinuses. So I'm like, well, this has bromelain, like that's probably why it's helping people. It's not really helping with their allergies, but it's helping with like opening it up, and you can
the symptoms of allergies. Yeah.
Awesome. And like we said, like our allergies aren't normal. Mine are almost non-existent from years of taking Ningxia Red. I'm thinking like being good to my gut. I've been doing that for about the last year is going to help it even more. I'm just like right now the pollen in the trees are exploding, and so I'm taking the LLP and swallowing the Allerzyme.
Yeah.
All right. Who's up next?
We were on. I was buying Abby. My oldest is a digestive mess, and so that's something that we've really been working on. And Allerzyme was one that really helped her. She had a hard time digesting carbs and wheat products, and so she went gluten-free for a while. But it wasn't causing major like issues where she felt super uncomfortable. So it's really hard. It was hard for a teenager to be completely off of it. But we started her on the Allerzyme, and it was super helpful. And it was one of those things there. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but occasionally either I run out of something. I don't ever do it intentionally, but you're like, oh, we're not going to take the supplements, or we don't have them, or something like that. And it's when you don't take them that you notice how amazing that they are. And so that was kind of the situation with her Allerzyme, is that I had run out, and she asked me, because I lay out their pills in the morning. And so honestly, they always tease me. They're like, we don't know what you give us. I just like lay them out for everyone. And so she's like, have you been giving me my Allerzyme? And I'm like, oh no, we ran out. And she's like, I can totally tell a difference since I haven't been taking it. So it really works. But then, they took it away. And so we moved to the next product, which is Detoxzyme. And it actually has been helping as well. So this is one, and if y'all haven't heard Dr. Peter Minke, he's awesome. And he is like super into gut health. And I mean, if you ever want to be inspired to take a probiotic, just listen to him. He's all over it. So, but this is one that he says is really good to take at bedtime. And it's definitely like full of powerful enzymes that help complete digestion and help detoxify your system and promote cleansing. So this is really helping her. And so she's been taking it, and she takes it at night. So definitely on the order, not every month because we don't run out every month, and so I'm super excited about what's to come, but with the new system, but for sure one that we don't run out of, and she takes it every single day. So
Detoxzyme is my like, oh man, I meant to swallow those essential zyme spores before I ate that Mexican food. Now I'm in a bad way. I'm taking Detoxzyme and going to lay down. Like, it's like, oops, I messed up.
Right.
This will fix it. I'm going to go lay down now. Like, that is how, and it is fantastic. I saw something that Gary Young said, and he basically said, if you want to have like if you have an early morning the next morning, and you want to wake up refreshed, to take 2 Detoxzymes and a capsule of GLF, which is the gallbladder liver flush, before you go to bed. And I've done that a few times, and you do wake up like refreshed. I think it like helps. I think part of the reason why it's hard to wake up in the morning is like your guts and your everything is still like sluggish and getting cleansed or whatever, but it's like cleanses you all up. And in the morning, I'm like, I do feel like I can get up and do things this morning. Okay, so I think it's my turn. Mighty Zyme. Okay, Mighty Zyme is basically the kids' enzyme. We have not played with this a super lot because my kids don't have digestive issues. I know that Leslie has given it to her kids because they were having some digestive issues. We give them to them when they are eating sugar, because we are a sugar-free household. We don't keep things with sugar in our house. But like when I bake a cake, or someone brings cookies, or we go to a birthday party, or there's candy in their bag or whatever, like I give them essential zymes, because sugar is super destructive to your gut health and like causes all kinds of inflammation. And B, I want it out of their system faster. So I'm like, yeah, you can have that candy if you chew up these Mighty Zymes with it. So that has been kind of a really big lifesaver for us, especially here lately. And so a note for you, poor digestion has been proven to be a root cause of poor sleep. Therefore, supporting your digestion would help your sleep. That goes for you. That goes for your kids. So if your kids have trouble sleeping, maybe Mighty Zymes is something to add to their routine.
And is that one that you would give at bedtime?
I give it whenever. Like, it can go with their supplements, or like I said, when they're eating sugar or whatever, like just getting it into their routine so that they digest their food better and it doesn't keep them awake. Their food not digesting is apparently, and gut health in general being something that keeps people awake. So anytime would be good. The next one on here is multigreens and Life9. So we have talked about how we don't get the best diet. We should, right? And I definitely don't eat enough leafy greens. That class that I went to years and years ago, I actually committed to multigreens after that class, because she was talking about how many times a day you're supposed to go potty. And multigreens will definitely help with that. I took it for a little while, and then I stopped, and then I started taking it again when I was pregnant, because the Young Living blog put out this thing about helping with energy and helping you go, which was a huge problem I was having being pregnant, both those things, but especially the not going. So I started taking it when I was pregnant. It made me feel so good that I kept it up for years and years and years. I stopped again, and then I started when we did our little challenge or whatever, and we're currently out right now. I can definitely feel a boost of just general well-being, like a little energy and just feeling happier and better in the day. And it definitely helps you go more often. It's got amazing oil in it, Melissa, which is so wonderful for rebuilding cells. We have tribe members who have taken it to heal bones faster.
That would be my son.
And Charlotte too.
Yep.
She healed her collarbone or whatever it was, or really
Yeah.
super fast with it.
When Taylor was bitten by the brown recluse, this was after Dr. Jim Bob had broken his leg severely, and he said that he took many extra multigreens to really help speed that healing and to make sure it healed well. So then when we reached out to him about Taylor getting bit by the brown recluse and had, I don't know if y'all remember, had that huge hole in his leg, he was like up the multigreen. So we became huge fans and big believers of multigreens healing your body. So yes, then I told Charlotte, like when she broke her collarbone, her shoulder, I was like, up your multigreens.
Yeah, that's one that we use every day. Like we for sure take it. We do multigreens every single day.
Mindy, would you, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, Mindy, would you concur with that? Being a trainer.
Do you take it every day?
I do take it every day, but not because I have broken bones, and I did not know about the broken bones. So that is
actually that's not what we take.
No.
We take it for the greens, like honestly.
The greens, yeah, and the benefits.
So we get a box of organic produce that I shove down my family's throats every week. So I have at this point right now pulled away from multigreens just because I simply have so many supplements. So if you're hearing this, like we get that you don't want to take 25,000 supplements in the morning. Like there are things that are your core. You really should not ever quit them. And then there are things that you might bring out for a time, for a purpose, sprinkle in here and there. Maybe even I've seen like Mary Young doesn't take 3 multigreens. She takes 1.
Take 2. We take 2.
Mm-hmm. So like,
and I do 1 in the morning and 1 at night.
Yeah.
To spread it out.
That would be better. I feel like enzymes are a tool. I myself don't have huge digestive problems, so I don't like swallow them every day. I will get to the cleanse in a minute that I use essential zymes for, but essential zymes for I keep for the big meals, especially if we go out to eat Mexican food, the big greasy burger with the onion rings, like things like that. So like I feel like it's a tool for me. You may be the person though that needs it. Like I need Super B like every single day. And the same thing with multigreens. Maybe you need it every single day, or maybe you need it like in a season or in a time period and not every day. But this next one is one that we all need every day. Like I'm going to go to bat forever and ever with Ningxia Red and Life 9. Like you cannot stop the Ningxia Red and Life 9 if you want optimal wellness. Like let's talk about Life 9. It is our probiotic supplement. I was on a probiotic before Young Living, and I was going down to CVS to buy like the best one, like when you Google it, and getting my little coupon or whatever and going down there because it was kind of expensive. And then when I started doing Essential Rewards with Young Living, I didn't even realize we had probiotics. So I was like getting my LLP in my ER, taking my coupon and going down to CVS to get my probiotic. And then one day it dawned on me that we have one. I could put it in that box, save that whole trip. And by the way, it's cheaper than the one that I was going down to CVS to get. Then I started researching it and it's better. It is better. I haven't researched like in the last year, but at the time I researched this last, it was the very best one as far as what it contains on the market. So first of all, you need to know why you need it. Your body has 2 to 6 pounds of bacteria in it right now. Like you actually weigh 2 to 6 pounds less than you do right now. And the rest of that is bacteria. I just saw a stat today that says your body is basically 90% bacteria, like 90% microbiome, 10% human. Like bacteria is like a huge thing. 80 to 90%, depending on who you ask, of your immune system is in your guts. So the number one reason that every person in my house gets a probiotic, the girls get the little sticks, the mighty, we didn't put
Pro.
the mighty pro, they get the little sticks. We take the Life 9 is because of that. Like 80 to 90% of your immune system in your gut. I mean,
And I just want to interject because you say bacteria, and I know people have a negative connotation about bacteria, but that is a good bacteria, and you want it in your gut. Like you want that bacteria.
The good, yeah.
There's good and there's bad.
Right.
And the point of a probiotic was to make sure your balance stays where you have more good than bad, right? Because we're going to be inundated with bad bacteria all the time. And bad bacteria causes stomach viruses. Like, okay, there's stomach viruses, but then there's bacteria. Bad bacteria causes all kinds of bad digestive issues in your body and causes you to have infections and all kinds of things. So like we're inundated, everything we touch has viruses and bacteria on it all the time, right? So we want enough good bacteria in our body to fight that off. That's why so much of our immune system is in our guts. The little class, if you opted into that text class today, they used we used a like analogy of like the grass, okay? Like keeping your grass healthy and plucking the weeds. Like the grass being the good bacteria in your guts and plucking the weeds being the bad bacteria. Like that's your first line of defense. Yes.
So there is definitely a time and a place where you might need an antibiotic if you're sick, but the antibiotics literally go in and kill all the bacteria in your system, the good and the bad. So if you're on an antibiotic for some reason, it's really important to take extra Life 9 during that course because and antibiotics can stay in your system for a really long time and wreak havoc on your gut health.
First got a probiotic, a doctor actually recommended it because I was on antibiotics for like 3 months when my eardrum ruptured. Like they put me on an insane amount of antibiotics and it killed my gut health for like years. And finally a doctor said, hey, you need a probiotic. So like that is my first experience with it, was for that purpose. And then for a while I only took it when I took antibiotics. Like I didn't get that you needed to take it all the time. Recently, I'll tell you, like I got a really bad UTI, which is the only time that I really will definitely run and get an antibiotic because that can be super dangerous. And I swallowed a Life 9 every time I swallowed an antibiotic. So not just my nighttime Life 9, but like morning and night when I was taking those, like I took one to try to keep that from being a problem. And I haven't had residual digestion problems from that antibiotic, so that I know that helped.
Oh my God, the nighttime, having to take it at night, was the biggest adjustment for me.
So
I had a hard time.
The instructions on the bottle say take with a meal. So you don't have to, like you can take it with any meal in the day. Like just if you dig in and research, like the very best thing will be to take it at night after like you've not had any food like in the last few hours, because then it can set up and stay in your body like the longest before food starts to like push through. But they say you can take it in the day with a meal. So I think taking it is better than not taking it if you have a hard time remembering, especially since it's in the fridge. Like it's kind of out of mind, right? Like I'm gonna have it like CBD and Life 9 before I go to bed, like CBD and Life 9 before I go to bed. Like I'm in the habit now, but I've been there where I struggled. Ours is better because it has 9 strains of bacteria, 17 billion bacteria. And when I looked, that was more strains and more bacteria than the others. We have a special cool release capsule that keeps your gut from like killing these bacteria, because your gut acid is super hard on these bacteria. So like the slow release capsule is the reason why it doesn't just all die. And so I'll just a little plug for a prebiotic to help your probiotic live. I think Ningxia Red in general is a prebiotic, because every time when you see wolfberry powder show up, Silverzyme powder, the new ICP daily, they say it's a prebiotic. So I think we're good with our Ningxia Red, but anytime you get like a prebiotic, It helps your probiotic live. It's the food basically for that. And that's coming up in this next section. The cleansing trio. Okay, so the reason I did this is because of fertility issues, actually. But then it helped me so much, and my husband so much, that we continue doing it. When you're reading Taming the Dragon book by those two chiropractors and naturopaths, they talk about fertility, but like you got to go with this other book. It's like the Inner Transformations book. And they, in their practice, were able to get to help almost every woman that they helped with fertility get pregnant after doing a 6-month colon cleanse. And at the time that we were doing all the crazy amounts of things for fertility, I wasn't like down with adding in a colon cleanse. So I never really did do it. Like I bought the stuff, but it was sitting there. And then even after we like started pursuing adoption, I'm like, let's do this cleanse. Like I think we have a lot of symptoms. Like I was having a hard time focusing, feeling sluggish, like a whole bunch of things. I was like, I feel like we need like to cleanse our gut and that we will feel better. So it is Essential Zyme, the slow release capsule, not the 4, Comfortone, and ICP. And I have to tell you, like, and I can show you from the Inner Transformations book, it's like you take an Essential Zyme twice a day, I think, and then you start like slow with Comfortone, and you like get to the point where you're taking 10 Comfortone. 10. If you have tried Comfortone before, like it makes you go potty. You have to drink a lot of water. In the past, I took it to travel because I have trouble going when traveling. I have handed it out to probably all of you on travels because like it helps people. So you can imagine taking 10 a day, like things were moving. You have to move like up slowly, otherwise it would be like crazy at first. But you do that for a period of time. You mix in at that point. You're taking the Essential Zymes and the Comfortone. So the Comfortone is moving stuff through. Essential Zymes is eating up the bad stuff that moving things through and cleansing is bringing up. You know, like when you get a cleanse of some sort and you feel bad, like almost like you have the flu, like achy or whatever. The Essential Zymes was eating up those bad toxins that were stored in our gut to help everything move through. And then you like work your way up to you drink ICP. And I got to that point, and this is literally months, okay? And I could not drink the ICP. And
The old ICP.
I'm out. Like I walked away. I'm sure that it did great things, y'all. I felt so much better. We definitely, my tummy was never flatter than after doing that cleanse. And we felt a whole lot better, slept better, all the things. But I wonder what I could have done had I have done like the ICP, because that's like the sandpaper, like that was supposed to scrape everything this gross bit out. And now ICP daily, I got it. I tried it. It tastes really good. So I am excited to restart my cleanse and add the ICP daily at the end. Other people who might need the ICP daily, even if they're not doing a colon cleanse, would be someone who needs fiber. People that chew up the little fiber gummies or drink Metamucil or whatever, especially older people whose grandmothers were always in the kitchen, like stirring up a little Metamucil at night. Those people who need the fiber would really benefit from the ICP daily for the fiber and like cleansing your gut and getting things moving. But I'm super excited that we will have it now for doing a colon cleanse, which by the way, everybody's supposed to do a colon cleanse like once a year. You don't have to do a 6-month one like when you're trying to get pregnant, but you should do some form of cleansing.
Okay,
now,
let's do it.
Are you gonna post like something to help, like to guide people along?
I can take the picture, the directions from that book.
Okay.
It's very specific.
Like, should you block some time out and make sure you're staying home for the weekend?
No, it wasn't like that. It
Okay,
wasn't like
okay.
that. We got to eat normal. We did not have to like stay super close to the toilet. Like you go multiple times a day, but it's
Right.
not unpleasant.
Not
These are things
emergency.
people need to know.
It's not a bad experience when you go.
Good on you, Erin.
It just you definitely go more often. And it definitely, like we drank a lot of water because it definitely flushed some stuff out. I could tell that the Essential Zymes was helping with that. I used some lemon oil in the water to help with that. But for the most part, it was just good. We just felt better. This is gross extra, but in that book, it talks about a lining. I will not do the other thing.
Oh, Yeah. Hey, we've had this conversation before. I'm out. Bye.
There's a lining on your colon that is gunked up from the American diet that is keeping you from being able to absorb your supplements and all of your good foods. And if you move that out of there, it's basically like milk and bread that makes this paste, like flour and milk. And if you move that on out, then you will absorb your food and vitamins better. And I did do that. So that's good. We won't talk about the thing that freaks Megan out that almost everybody has in there.
Wait, so doing the trio helped with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Or the duo minus the.
Yeah. Will be even better now that
With the
Yeah.
new ICP should.
I think it won't be as like, I think you may need to take it for longer. It definitely like thickened the water up and everything, but like ICP, the regular was like sandpaper in your water. Like you could tell that was like gonna do some stuff. You might have to take the ICP daily a little longer than the ICP, but it tastes good. And the ICP daily was like, I mean, the regular ICP tastes like black licorice
Oh no.
and sand
Right.
and water. It's like, what? It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, ooh, over the sink. Like, I can't do this. Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Happy gut.
Happy
That's a
gut.
lot of stuff.
Happy
Yeah.
gut.
Start slow. Add something. Add Life 9.
Life 9.
Yes, like you don't have to do all the things right away. Like pick something, drink your Ningxia, take Life 9 is a really, really good start.
Digest. Put some of that in a capsule.
Yes, you already have that. It's in your kit.
Yes. If you want to add an enzyme, maybe try the Essential Zymes 4 when it comes back because that's everybody's favorite and take it before dinner. Like,
And I did look, the Allerzyme, the one for seasonal allergies and food allergies, is in stock.
Okay, I'm gonna order it next time.
That's a whole different purpose, but also good.
Well, I'm excited about your cleanse.
Okay.
I know. Okay, girls, we're gonna do the cleanse together.
Okay,
Maybe
Okay, I have to order the new ICP.
yeah,
I have the other ones, and I'm gonna go take an Essential Zyme tonight.
right now.
But you already ate.
But the not the 4, just the
Oh, okay.
the regular one.
Mhm. All right.
Okay,
We're on this. Okay.
Good night,
Goodbye,
y'all.
bye
friends.
friends.
Subscribe.